At 50 subscribers, I will be releasing my version of Marvel's Phase 4 trailer mashup, really. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And, when we get to 50, I'll release it. Hello, everybody. So, I've realised I have not done a Marvel's Most Powerful Characters for a while. And we got pretty far in it. I think this is episode 6. And I thought I should do it again, really, because quite a lot of my newer viewers haven't actually been able to watch them yet because, well, when I started, the last one I did of these, I think I was on 20 subscribers or something, but now that's doubled, which is great, and I'll just get straight into it. So what I do in this is I'm talking about characters of sheer raw power. So someone did talk to me about stuff like Marvel cosmology and how some characters can access places that others can't, and I'm kind of talking in terms of complete raw power. I will do one of these cosmology based later, but I'm kind of going to stick with my list to start with. So anyways, we finished back at number 50, who is Silver Surfer Black. Number 49 is Matthew Malloy. This guy is one of the most powerful mutants ever, and by most powerful mutants ever, I'm talking definitely top 3, top 2. Maybe even. Sorry, that was my phone buzzing. But anyways, Matthew Malloy is basically just a guy, and I believe it was his wife who died, and then that kind of unveiled his mutant power, as many of the characters do, and awakened him. And basically, then it took the X-Men went and found him, and Cerebro says he is the most powerful thing they had ever detected. Now, Cerebro's detected some pretty powerful stuff. That means he's probably arguably more powerful than he was compared actually to the Dark Phoenix. He's more powerful than the Dark Phoenix. He's more powerful than Professor X. All these people. So basically, he lashed out and he doesn't really have control of his powers, but the amount of power he has is pretty substantial. So he was able to. He has a huge amounts of reality warping power, matter manipulation. He can resurrect himself from the dead. He has insane levels of telepathic and telekinetic abilities. Basically, when the X-Men came to find him, he was able to convince Professor X, who is probably one of the world's most powerful telepaths, he was easily able to convince him and everyone else in there that none of it ever happened and to go home, and completely eradicated himself from their memory. So, coming in at number 48 is Adult Franklin Richards. Now, this guy's one of the most powerful beings ever, but pretty much everyone on this list is. But Franklin Richards is the son of Reed Richards and Susan Storm, and basically, when he was very young, he had reality warping powers. He was so powerful, actually, that he needed to be stabilized by the Cosmic Control Rod, which is basically the Negative Zone's version of the Power Cosmic or something like that. So it literally took Galactus level power to stabilize just him being born. So when he was born, he had so much reality warping powers. He was able to create universes. It was kind of up to him. Once the events of Secret Wars happened, he was able to make all the new universes again. Once it all died, he was able to make all these different parallel universes again, and put a bit of the Molecule Man in all of them. I'll go over Secret Wars later. That's a banging good story, but I'll wait for that for a bit. So Franklin Richards is so powerful now. That's him as a child. Him as an adult is wildly more powerful. He was able to basically master all of his abilities. He literally went back in time to show his younger self, and it's a weird kind of time paradox, but he went back in time to kind of engineer himself, his powers going back, because one of the issues with Franklin Richards as a kid was that his powers were fading, and then him as an adult from the future came back and helped his powers come back. It was really weird. But then there was this awesome time when it was during Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers, where this version of Dark Celestials invaded the Earth, and they kill Galactus, and Adult Franklin Richards steps in, and he basically destroys all the Dark Celestials, and then he resurrects Galactus, to me, my Galactus, and makes Galactus his herald, which is it's good. It's good stuff. So that's Franklin Richards. Coming in at number 47 is Chthon. Chthon is one of the not one of the old ones. They are actually. They're one of the old ones, which is a group of primordial gods who have basically unreal amounts of powers. Some of them, like Sitarak and the Vishanti or something, fled to like other dimensions, and they made their own pocket dimensions for them to go in, where they have pretty much absolute power. Chthon's arguably the strongest of these gods, and he is also the being. I say he, but they have no real form. They are the being responsible for Scarlet Witch's powers in the comics. Now, just have a little think. So Scarlet Witch in the comics, using pretty much the full totality of her powers, was able to do very vast reality warping, like on a whim. They just 90% of mutants disappear on a whim. And I mean, Chthon is responsible for that. Chthon gave her those powers effectively. Imagine like she's Silver Surfer and then Galactus would be like Chthon. That's how powerful Chthon is. He is wildly powerful. Like, if you're talking about who could really stop him in the comics, I mean, arguably everyone more powerful than him on this list, but pretty much no one can stop him. You've got like less than 40. I say less than 40, but you know there's like 45 people left. But anyways, that's Chthon. So coming in next is not a being, but a group of beings called the Octessants. Now, these guys are another group of primordial gods. Many of them more related to magic. So in this group you've got the Vishanti, you've got Sitarak, Watum, Ragador. Now, these words may seem a bit random, but think of like Doctor Strange. A lot of his artifacts, these are lots of the beings that Doctor Strange can draw power from with his relics and artifacts. For example, the Wand of Watum or the Rings of Ragador and things like that. But these are the pretty much all-powerful group of magic beings that he can draw power from, and these guys are so powerful. These guys are insanely powerful. They just because they were bored really and wanted to find out like which one of them's the most powerful, they all created like an artifact. For example, like the Wand of Watum, the Rings of Ragador, the Crimson Gem of Sitarak, and they like put them on the earth, see whoever possessed these became the most powerful, because that's how they thought they could do it. And yeah, the Crimson Gem of Sitarak is what gave Juggernaut his powers. Yeah, Juggernaut, the literal unstoppable guy. Oh god, I love Juggernaut. Like, even Worldbreaker Hulk couldn't beat Juggernaut. That's how strong he was. Like, he's wildly strong. So coming in next are the Many Angled Ones at number 45. The Many Angled Ones are, again, a group of incredibly old, incredibly powerful gods who exist between universes. Now, they're kind of like, they're very evil. They're evil gods, and they, like I said, they exist between universes. They have like some weird religious cults that pray to them, but most people don't. And the Many Angled Ones are, they're made, it says they're made of antimatter. They basically hate real life things. Arguably Chthon is one of the greatest of them. Chthon is a member of this group, but in my opinion Shumagorath is also one of the most powerful of them. Like, if Shumagorath got loose in like the Marvel comic universe, pretty much no one could stop him. They're wildly powerful. Basically, when I'm talking about power levels with these guys, it's pretty much omnipotence for all of them. But some of them has more varying degrees of omnipotence, some of them no more, things like that. So, just a demonstration of what the Many Angled Ones could do. The Many Angled Ones there was a brilliant comic called the Thanos Imperative, and in this comic there was a guy who managed to kill Death. Captain Marvel managed to kill Death. This is Marvel, not Captain Marvel, you know, that one, the older one. But they were basically given a weapon by the Many Angled Ones that could kill someone called the Avatar of Death, which in turn could kill Death. Like, the Many Angled Ones had a mean of which they could kill Death in respective universes, which is pretty insane. Okay, coming in at number 44 is the Goblin Force. The Goblin Force represents all evil energy, all evil life energy, all evil thoughts and things like that. Basically everything bad about the universe summed up into one. It kind of ties in with number 43, which is the Phoenix Force. That's an easier way to think. So, you know the Phoenix Force, the sum of all psionic energy that will ever, does ever, or has ever existed. Basically big telepath powers. And the Goblin Force is the evil counterpart of them. And that's the Phoenix Force and the Goblin Force, really. They are so powerful. You had like characters like Jean Grey who could tap into some of their powers. You had like Thane, who got the power of the Phoenix, who like got a little bit of the power of the Phoenix Force and like was able to handily deal with Thanos at like one of his strongest moments. That's how strong they are. Now this brings me into number 42, which is Cyclops. You may be like, what? Cyclops? But the Cyclops I'm talking about is the Cyclops we see in Secret Wars. Now, this is the Cyclops that has the power of the Phoenix Force. Now, you might be like, what? Well, he said the Phoenix Force like one time ago. This is a little different. So, during the events of the incursions, all the multiverses crash into each other, and at the end, there is this place called Battleworld, which is this place which is literally like held together by the Molecule Man, and it's one place. So, infinite universes, all gone, one place. Now, if you have a think about this, it's like all the psionic energy in the universe, multiply that by basically the number of universes there are. So he has all the Phoenix Force, all the life force of every single universe ever. So he has the life force of every single being that's ever existed in the multiverse. So powerful. And Cyclops ended up having that power during Secret Wars. Now, so this is like having the Phoenix Force, but having the Phoenix Force of every single universe ever. Pretty awesome, right? So that brings me on to number 41, which is the Queen of Nevers. Now, the Queen of Nevers is the embodiment of possibility. We're getting into very cosmic entities now. So, if you ask me what powers they have, basically assume omnipotence, assume pretty much all powerful, pretty much all knowing, pretty much, ever present. And basically they're the embodiment of personality, the Queen of Nevers. They dated Eternity for a bit, which is kind of weird, thinking of like the embodiment of possibility dating like all time and space. But anyways, they are wildly powerful again, all powerful, all knowing, all these things, and as well as having this power, they have the powers of, well, basically possibility. Anything they really want to happen will happen. And they, again, what they managed to do, they managed to save the leader of the Celestials from Logos, Logos is Lord Chaos and Master Order put together as like one fighting force. She managed to save the One Above All, who is the leader of the Celestials, not the One Above All, like God of the Marvel Universe. Managed to save him and shield him from Logos, which is pretty insane. So this brings me on to number 40, Death. Now, loads of people here probably know who Death is. Death is the person who Thanos has been chasing after for literally decades. Death is, well, the embodiment of death in the Marvel Universe. They are the sister of Eternity and Infinity and Oblivion. They literally, they have so much powers. They mostly reside in their realm. Most of these guys have a lot of powers, but we haven't really seen them demonstrated a lot because they have to be in their realms. Mistress Death, like, rules over the dead, basically. All of them. Now, you may be like, why? But Thanos dies all the time. Why can't he be with her then? Basically, Mistress Death made Thanos immortal, so he could never be with her, which kind of sucks. Feel pretty bad for Thanos. I mean, Death is not a nice character in the comics. They reject Thanos all the time. But anyways, they have insane levels of powers. They are, even when Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet, when they tried to like escape from him, they put up a good fight. Now, these characters here are not above the Infinity Gauntlet. They are still below an Infinity Gauntlet currently. However, we'll be getting to that soon. The kind of cap off of an Infinity Gauntlet is around Eternity level, because Eternity was the most powerful being that Thanos could defeat with the Infinity Gauntlet. That's where I'm putting it. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Marvel's Most Powerful. I'll be coming back soon with episode 7, which will be even more powerful characters. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Enjoy.